I'm Sissy Sparkle and today we're at the setup of the bowl show at Paperboat Press. I'm with Janet, who's a Clay School student and star. Janet, how are you?
Very well, thanks, Sissy.
Can you tell us first a little bit about the process for making your beautiful bowls for the show?
I'm mostly hand-build and I use all sorts of techniques. With these particular ones, I actually threw them on the wheel and then they were I call them blanks, so they were roughly done, and then I took them home. I didn't even mind if they rolled around in the boot of my car particularly. So I got them home and they looked a bit mad, and then I spend quite a long time just refining them and looking at them, and when I'm really happy, that's when I allow them to start drying out.
Beautiful. And so what do you love about making a bowl?
Well, a bowl was the very first shape I ever made. I made a tiny little pinch pot. In fact, my style's never really changed in all of this time. Maybe I've refined it a little bit, but essentially 7 years ago when I started with clay, I was making the bowls I'm making today. And what do I particularly like about bowls? I like the fact that when I'm making a bowl, I'm actually thinking, what's going to go in this? And I also like the fact that it's almost like a portable artwork. Every time I have a bowl of muesli out of one of my bowls, it sort of uplifts me somehow to look at it and see, because it is quite beautiful to see the food inside a bowl.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but do any of these have something that you had in mind for them to have stuff in?
Oh, I'm always thinking breakfast. So I'm always thinking muesli, porridge, strawberries, pasta. Sometimes I move into dinner thoughts. Yeah.
I feel like a good breakfast bowl is very necessary.
Yes.
So what do you love about clay more broadly?
I like the obvious things about clay to begin with. I like the fact that it's natural, that you can find a seam of clay on a beach and you can pick it up and you can put your thumb into it and you've got a bowl. I love that about it. But when you work with clay for quite a long time, you start to really know a clay and you start to really know how far you can push it, and you push it to the point where it's almost screaming, saying, stop, I'm going to collapse. And then you pull it back a bit. You might need to sort of smooth it out because there's a crack, but you're controlling it, and it almost becomes like I don't know, it's hard to say, but it's that control that you get over time with clay that's such a life-affirming thing for me.
You talk about it in such a wonderful way.
Thank you.
What do you love about Clay School?
Clay School is like a permanent masterclass. So you walk in and you're surrounded by extremely experienced people who've thought about their practice for a long time. You're also surrounded by beginners who are making their very first pot bowl, and I learn probably as much from beginners as I do from experienced people. And Ray Cavill said to me years and years ago that the process of learning about clay is like a spiral. I think he likened it to a sort of a perculum in a shell. And he said, you've thrown all this information and in the beginning you don't understand it all. But then as you spiral up and you get better, you can pick up something that you weren't sure of back in the beginning. For instance, for me right now, it's stains. I'm last after all these years feeling comfortable with stains. And that's taken the spiral to go all the way up to here for me to say that. So that's one of the things I like about Clay School. The second thing I like about Clay School is that it's the most non-ageist environment I've ever been in. My Clay School friends range from early 20s to mid-70s, and I love that about Clay School. And I love our class. We all have a class, and in that class it's like a schoolroom. We can ask any question and no question's too stupid, and you become very close to your own class, and everybody's helpful. Everyone is so generous with their knowledge. I love that too. Sorry, that's a really long answer.
No, don't be sorry for that. It's wonderful. Thanks for chatting with me, Janet.
Thanks, Sissy.
Come through to Paperboat Press. The show goes until September 30th. Thanks so much.
Thank you.